Good morning. Zipper's getting hung up here. It's day 5. Last night, the temperatures were amazing. It was like 10 degrees warmer than it was the night before. That's probably the best slept. That's probably the best sleep that I've had the whole time I've been out here. Amazing. I could go back to sleep right now. It felt so good. I stayed up late last night working on that chair for Miss Bella. Got it finished. I'm happy about that. It's supposed to be a scorcher today. It's supposed to be pretty hot. So I'm going to get up and take a look, as usual, at the fire pit and see if it's banked or not. I don't really care if it is because today I'm getting out of here, but just out of curiosity, I want to find out if it's banked or not. I'm not going to make a fire today. I'm going to actually get water and pour water on it if it needs it. But I'm going to check that out. This Olight H1R has been fabulous. I haven't charged it. It was fully charged on day 1 when I got here, and it's been working fine every single day. I use moonlight mode most of the time, but I'll eventually bump it up to low. Once in a while I'll use turbo for something for a few minutes, but for the most part this thing has been awesome. Awesome headlamp. Haven't even had to charge it. But yes, temperatures are fabulous. Felt so good. So I'm going to get up and get this day started. Day 5. Day 5 already. It seems like I just got here. You know, like, where did the time go? Gosh. Where did the time go? I don't think I'm going to need my knife anymore. I don't plan on doing anything with my knife, so. My Condor Pterosaur is the knife I chose for this trip. It's been a good knife. Worked good. Did everything I needed it to do. It reminds me of a Mora Garberg in a lot of ways. Doesn't throw as good as sparks though. Look at them dusty socks. Definitely gonna need to clean my clothing and take a bath. Whoops. For sure. I thought about taking like a bath yesterday, you know, going out to the water, but you're not really gonna get that clean using dirty water to clean yourself, right? Make sure there's nothing in my shoes. Like I said, get this party started. I'm curious about the fire, if it's banked. I didn't really work on it or anything to make sure that it was, because I knew that today was day 5. I was also going to show today a quicker method of figuring out the shadow stick method, so I can show you that. But let's go take a look at that fire and see how that looks. So come with me. Let's see what we got over here. So let's come around right to here. see what's up with this pit. I did have some, yep, it's good to go. I already feel heat. There's already coals in there. Yep, there's a few good ones. Yep, if I needed a fire, I could definitely have one today. These chips that I put in there are hardwood chips. All the scraps and stuff that I had from building that chair. There it goes, it's starting to glow. That whole piece is good. Look at that bad boy. So the fire was banked again. So one friction fire lasted me all 5 days. That's crazy. Just goes to show how effective banking your fire is. So there's a look at Miss Bella's chair. I'm gonna lash these guys at an angle here. Cut all 3 of the tops off. I put this piece in here so you can hang coats on it, or you can hang like the water filter. Plus it helped lash these together. I came around this thing like this, which pulled it against these 2 pieces, and then I lashed it against this piece, so it's holding that connection together really well. I did the same thing back here, and I used 7 pieces here instead of 6 like I did on mine. But the chair is awesome, and compared to mine, it's a lot better. The back, you know, the back of mine, you've got this stick on top of this other stick, so when you sit on it, your back kind of wants to lean to the left a little bit. But on this one, not only is it much more solid, but it's like your back fits perfectly right there. Oh man, it's comfortable. She's gonna love it. So I'm proud of the progress that I made on this chair. It's super cool. I'm just really liking it. And that wood is heavy duty, very thick, and it's not like heavy to lift, not too heavy, but it's definitely heavier than the other one. This one's light. But you know, I guess it's so nice to have a chair out here. It changes your whole feeling about everything. The one that I made for Miss Bella was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. The table too, same thing. Even though it's not perfect or anything like that, I doubt that I'll be joining any table competition building things anytime soon, but it also helps change your whole morale at camp, because you have something to eat your food off of. You can put your stuff up there. Such a nice thing. So let's go ahead and get down to the riverbed, and I'll show you, I'll show you a simpler way of using the shadow stick method, where you only need 2 pegs, goodness, and your shadow stick. So we'll check that out. So here's a method of the shadow stick technique that does not require as much stuff. You got your 2 sticks for your north, south, east, and west line. You have your stick that you're going to pound in the ground for your shadow, and 2 stakes. So I pound the first stick in the ground. And let's take a look here at the shadow. See where the shadow is right there? Just like before, I'm gonna come over here to the very tip of the shadow, right here, and I'm gonna mark that. Now, I'll leave these tools right here. I'll wait, and I'll come back in about an hour. Doesn't have to be an hour, you could do like 30 minutes, but generally the longer time that you wait, the better. So now you can see that the shadow has moved from this point to this point. So I will put a stake in the ground there. It's been about an hour. And now I don't need my shadow stick anymore. I can leave it there because as more time goes on, the shadows will appear. I could almost predict at this point where they would be. That gives me a westward, eastward bearing. And the way it does this is always remember that the first shadow always cast to the west and the last shadow always cast to the east. So with that, I'll make a W here for west. I'll make an E for east. And now if I intersect this stick, then I know where north and south is. There's north, south. So that's what the situation looks like. It's a very, very effective measurement of finding my bearings. I had to come in back to the shade because my camera had a hot temperature shut off again. So here it is on day 5. I did pretty good on my cranberry juice, so I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this. Look at my hands. Those are working hands. Those are hands that built a couple chairs, a table, spent 5 days out here in this area in the Arizona heat. Almost triple digits. I'm gonna get hydrated. Then my next move is to break camp. And then after breaking camp, I'm gonna take this chair over to the vehicle, get it loaded, and then come back, pick up all my gear and get out of here. So I'm hydrating because I'm gonna weigh out. I wanna make sure my weight is accurate. I can feel that my hydration is off a little bit because when I peed earlier, which peeing is a good sign, right? But when I peed, the urine was really dark. So I'm gonna try to drink more before I weigh out. I'm not going to drink all of this, of course, but I don't want to make it appear like I'm trying to throw off the scale or something like that, because I'm not. I'm just trying to get my body where it should be. Like, I always refer to it as a sponge. You could have a dry sponge or you could have a moist one. So I'm trying to moisten my sponge. Man, it's beautiful out here. None of these tips are hot, so that's good. Since I'm getting ready to get out of here, I don't need any more of this water. So I'm just gonna put it right in this pit. Make sure that these coals are out. There's that one. You can definitely see that there was some coals in there. Wow. Violent eruption of coals. Make sure this bad boy is out. Pretty crazy. It's funny how bad this fire wanted to stay alive. I banked it well. Look at that. That's crazy. That's a trip. I think I'll be making another trip to the water to get more to put on here just for good measure. Okay. Here's more water from the river. Oh yeah, that bad boy's out. Let's go over all this stuff, all the tips of these pieces. Just make sure everything's out. Yep, absolutely. That looks good. There's no coals alive in there anymore. They're gone. Yep. I would say that that's a wrap. Stump this bad boy out. Don't need it. Anybody that says that that fire is not out is full of it. That's about as out as a fire can be. Boy, the camera does not like this Arizona heat. I was going to try to get a shot of me walking back to camp, and I hit the remote, and like 3 steps later the camera died. Overheat again. So I'm going to leave the camera here, let it rest, and I'm going to take Miss Bella's chair back to the car. I'll come back for the camera when it's nice and cool. I don't want to try to carry all this in one trip. So I'll see you guys in a minute.
Kind of heavy.
So it's not that far to the car. It's maybe 300 to 500 yards. But doing it over and over and over for camera shots and carrying that chair and carrying the gear, it adds up. I can feel the sweat just coming off of my body. But this is what I live for. Well, goodbye, camp. It's been fun. Well, it's that time again, folks. It's time to weigh in. Man, I wish that we had cleaner water out here so that I could have taken a bath or washed my clothes or something like that. Because I'm filthy. But that's to be expected sometimes when you do a challenge like this. I'm grateful for the resources that the river provided, though. You know, and just goes to show that it's not uncommon for me to want to have that container so that I can make a water filter. That's a pretty good skill, and it's really helped tremendously with the quality of the water. Made it bearable. So now the question is, what is my weight? I'm going to weigh in with the same shorts that I had in the beginning of this challenge. I'm curious because I feel like I've lost a little bit of weight. I know that every day I've been sweating. I weighed in at 188.8. 179.6. $179.6. Let's try it again. 179.6. So we're going to say 179.6. That's almost 10 pounds. Gosh, that's pretty crazy. Feel thinner. Those are the results of my weigh out. Definitely worked hard on this one. That's crazy. How does my body look? I want to say thank you for joining me today on this video. Hope you enjoyed it. This series, it was awesome. 0.279. 9, 0. Yeah, 9.2 pounds I lost. Wow. That's crazy. That's a lot of weight. 9.2 pounds in 5 days. Now, when it comes to the food and the selections that I chose, fabulous. They were very good selections. I couldn't have been happier about the choices that I made with what I chose to bring out on this journey. I didn't expect to lose this much weight. I feel fine right now. I don't feel like tired. I don't feel any. I could use probably some cold water, you know, get hydrated back up. Last time I peed was this morning. So I know that I'm a little dry, so to speak. But with all that being said, folks, thank you again for watching this series. I hope that you appreciate it. Please feel free to leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thumbs up this video and please share it. This is real work that I'm putting in out here for you guys. So thank you again for stopping by. I hope you have a beautiful day. We'll see you next time. I love these challenges. Bye for now.